there was a question you could ask most men, what would you ask them?
Why is it very... Okay, so I know men and women are different. I would like to know, when do you know you have feelings for her? Like, when is the point that you're like, okay, I think I like her? Because I'm pretty sure it's not after the sex or whatever.
No. Well, actually.
Sometimes we can.
Yeah, so there's... there's two parts to this. So actually, it is after sex.
Really?
As in, that's when he knows if he likes her for who she is or whether he was just sexually attracted to her.
Okay.
So you know the term post-nut clarity. So that's like, oh, it's like having beer goggles, you know?
Yeah.
Like you were drunk, you went home with someone that night, and then you wake up next morning when you're sober, you look, you're, oh,
Who this?
if I was sober, I probably wouldn't have gone home with you that night. So it's kind of the same thing. Like post-nut clarity is, you know, I call them lust goggles that guys have. It's like once he does have sex with her and he is intimate with her, then he looks at her and goes, oh, actually, like I like her. Or he's like, yeah, I was just attracted to you. Physically.
So can that be for long term? Like it can happen, because I see people out there that have been doing this, like they've been, you know, fucking or whatever for years.
Yep.
And they're still not like, no progression, you know?
Whose responsibility do you think it is to progress it to the next level?
I think it's both.
It's the woman. I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because a guy will have sex with a woman without commitment if she lets him. So it's on the woman to be like, hey, I like you. I'm enjoying where this is going. But if this is going to continue, this is the standard that I have. And if she doesn't do that, he will just continue to have sex with her and to date other people. Right?
Okay.
So you know how I said earlier, like men earn sexual intimacy with women, but women have to earn the commitment. That is her way of earning the commitment.
I get that. I totally agree, because I know that.
Yeah.
But in the same time, I've seen situations where men are attractive to this lady or whatever, and they will have to have the conversation. They will open up this conversation. They'll be like, you know, so I feel like it's both sides. Maybe more women, but like men could do that too. Like, why can't you not say something?
Of course. And it can happen.
Yeah.
It can happen. But it isn't usually... Well, it's the same thing as saying like usually it can happen where a woman is chasing a guy to have sex with him. That happens too. It's not often, but it happens, right? So it can happen in that sense.
Yeah.
But because generally speaking, women are the gatekeepers for physical intimacy and men are the gatekeepers to relationships, it's usually the other way around where, you know, there's no nice way to put this, but when you're dating with a guy, in the beginning as a woman, you have all the power because he is pursuing you because he's attracted to you.
Yeah.
The moment you start having sex, you've lost a lot of that power. Now, that's not saying you have to hold on to sex and use it as like as a power play, but it's about understanding that it's a dance. Right? When you're getting into a relationship with someone, you're dating someone, it's a dance. Like, I want to move forward, you want to move forward, I move back, we step here, we turn here, we do all this stuff, right? Now, just because you quote unquote lose the power or lose the leverage when you have sex, that doesn't mean that it's not going to go the way you want it to. That doesn't mean that he won't like you.
No, it's true.
But it's about using your power wisely leading up to that, which then puts him in a position where he goes, wow, I may have this power, but I want to use it to serve this relationship. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think many women today in this culture, and you can tell me what it's like in Romania, I think they misuse their power.
Probably, yeah.
With men. And I think that, look, we live in a sexually liberalized society. You should be able to, you know, be intimate with who you want without any judgment or shame. I agree. But I think the notion that has come from feminism or modern feminism for women to treat sex the way men do is the biggest con that is affecting most women.
It is, yeah.
Because definitely. I think most women want a genuine connection and relationship. And because men and women are different, you can't just be having sex with a guy and then expect him to fall in love with you. That's not how men work. It's actually in times that men are vulnerable and a woman is there for him, that's when he starts to fall for her.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not through the sexual intimacy, it's through the emotional intimacy. So if you're talking about, oh, as a woman, how can I know or start to get to that point where the guy's starting to have feelings for me? Or when he's having a down day, he's going through a tough time or whatever, the things outside of the sex, the things outside of what he's initially taken an interest in you for, it's the value outside of the bedroom that a woman provides for him.
Exactly.
That's what makes him go,
she's the one.
Exactly. She's the one for me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. But in the same time, I feel like it's so hard to have this type of moments with a man these days, like, you know, for him to be vulnerable to, you know, near you, to like, for him to like tell you his mind and his thoughts and everything, because, you know, men now, they don't really like sharing the way they used to, or like,
I think that's true.
You know, it's a bit like everything right now, it's a bit messed up, let's say, you know, men, women, the relationship, you know, what a man is, what a woman is, what is that? This is why it's so confusing. This is why people are in this.
I hear that.
Yeah, because sometimes, okay, let's say you are with someone and you feel that person and whatever. Me, I'm a very like proud, let's say, like I have a very big ego, right?
Sure.
So
at least she's honest.
Yeah, that's a problem. You know, it's not a good thing, I know. But like sometimes I feel like, okay, if in the beginning he's not giving me the energy that I want. Even, okay, let's say we had sex, you know.
Yeah.
If I had sex with you, that means I really like you. I'm not just gonna
100%.
So, especially if we do it many times or whatever. And I feel that it's not like the commitment or like something coming from you to me, you know, to feel that, okay, you like me, like you want me more than only sex or whatever.
Yes.
For me, I'm just going to step back and I'm just going to be, you know what, like you do you and I do me. That's the problem.
I think that doesn't help you though.
No, that it doesn't, but that's the thing, because it gets me to a point that I don't really care. Like I'm not gonna look at you as something that it can possibly be something, you know, for the future. I'm just gonna be there. Okay, we're having sex. I don't like to have multiple partners. I'm just gonna have sex with this guy for how long it takes me to find someone else that I like, you know.
I understand.
In the same time, it's very crazy. It's very complicated for women, because when you are having sex with someone or spending time with someone, you don't really want to go out on dates with other men.
Of course, yeah.
You don't really want to like on a Saturday or whatever, you know. Yeah.
So here's what I would say. In the beginning, when a guy's taking an interest in you, right, you expect him to take an initiative.
Yeah.
Right? So he's not sitting back like, I want to go on a date with this girl. I hope she lets me know when she's free. No, he has to go, hey, are you free Saturday? Because I'd like to take us to do this. Okay. So as the woman, if you're wanting him to be vulnerable with you, start to that point where he starts to open up and you can be there for him, you have to take the initiative. For example, if you're talking to him, you're like, oh, how's your week? You know, what's going on? He's like, oh yeah, it's good. I'm working my ass off because I've got this big presentation on Friday and, you know, like I'm fine, but it's taking up a lot of my time. That's your opportunity to go, oh, well, after Friday, why don't you come over and let me cook us some dinner? Just to round off the week.
That's so cute.
Do you know what I mean? You have to take the initiative to provide the space where he can be emotionally vulnerable with you. Because if you don't do that, right? Because guys, we already know that guys in general, they're not going to take the initiative in the emotional side a lot of the time. Yeah, they're not. Right? So as the woman, it serves you to lead by example. Yeah. Or if it's something like, for example, you know, let's say that you stay over at his, or you're like, what are you doing tomorrow? He's like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym and then I have a meeting afterwards. He's like, okay, well, when you get back from the gym, I'll have breakfast ready for you or something. Do you know what I mean? And I know this sounds like very traditional, stereotypical
No, I like
things,
this.
But it's like, these are the ways.
I feel like this is something that should come natural. Like, I feel 100%. Like this is how it should be. Right.
But then you just said, when you're intimate with a guy, if you don't feel that he's trying as hard as he should be, you step away instead of taking the initiative.
Yeah, so that's the problem.
So but that's up to you.
That's my problem.
That's up to you. I mean, you can change that today.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I like hearing this from a man's perspective, you know, because that makes me think like, okay, yeah, it's true. Like maybe there were times where I should have said something else then.
Can I? Okay, I'm probably going to get some heat for this, but I'm just going to say it very plainly, right? Okay. And I'm saying this from a point that I'm assuming the kind of guy you want is a strong masculine guy who knows how to lead, right? And he's on his shit and he can take care of you both. Okay. The only question you ever have to ask yourself, right, when you're dating this kind of guy, is how can I make his life easier? If you think, how can I make his life easier? Whether that is picking up his dry cleaning, whether that is after a stressful week, you do something for him, whatever it is, right? Because obviously, we're going from the point that if he's interested in you, he will be taking that initiative with you, right? He'll want to spend time with you, go out, all of this stuff. So if you're dating that kind of guy and he is someone that you see potential with, as a woman, if you just ask yourself, how can I make his life easier? That is immediately, that's going to put you above any other woman he might be interested in, because most girls don't do that.
Yeah.
At least in this culture. Most women are not thinking, how can I make his life easier? They're thinking, how can he serve me? And if he's not serving me, I'm not going to give him the box.
How can I stress him out?
Right. It's like, that's how most women think.
Yeah, sure.
That's how most women date today.
Yeah.
And it's partially not their fault, because I think our mainstream media encourages women to date this way, but it's not helping them get what they want.
Yeah.
And it's all about a give and take. Yeah, he may want you, but if you want that commitment from the guy that you want, you do have to earn that from him. Do you know what I mean?
So then what are we saying about women that they do all these things to men and they are treating very badly? Like, you know, they're treating them bad.
Well, the guys are.
Yeah.
That she did it for the wrong man. She didn't do the wrong thing.
But it's a bit how can I say, complicated to know, you know, like, because some men, they will treat you nice and they will be there for you and they will make you feel and think that they actually like you. They actually want a future with you, but they don't. So you do all these things for them. They be nice, you clean, you'll do this, you'll be traditional woman or whatever.
Yeah, only if she wants to.
And yeah, unless whatever you do you. Yeah. And then they will still cheat on you, or they will, you know, they'll fuck up the relationship somehow. So
I get that. So 2 things I would say to that. The first thing is that I think most women don't recognize the signs when a guy is taking them seriously and when he's only treating them like a sexual option. For example, if you've been dating a guy for several months, but you've never met any of his friends, he's not taking you seriously. If you've been dating a guy for several months and, you know, you can't make plans further than 3 weeks ahead, he's not taking you seriously. If you've been dating him for a few months and the only time he'll spend time with you is when you guys have an opportunity to have sex, he's not taking you seriously. So I think because a lot of women are misguided or they don't recognize the signs that a guy is taking them seriously, they're like, I don't know how much I should invest in this man. Or I don't know if this is the guy I should invest in or if this is the guy I should invest in, right? And I think what happens is they get blinded by the super attractive guy living this nice lifestyle who's got the great smile, got the charm and everything. And I get it, that's attractive, obviously, right? But then they're blinded by that so much so that they don't recognize those signs, and so they just give, right? And so if you recognize those signs, and then let's say you recognize those signs, a guy is doing that for you, and then you do start to take the initiative in those ways that we've just discussed, that's going to lead to a relationship.
But I think another issue with this, like men not taking it seriously or whatever, is that sometimes women think that men can change.
Oh yeah, that's the biggest fallacy. Yeah,
and they will be in that situation for a long time, hoping that that's gonna change. You know, because sometimes it's not only like women. If we have feelings for someone, we're gonna be there. But even this flashy lifestyle or whatever is not gonna keep us there. If we are actually hurt, like if we want to leave, we're gonna leave. Bye bye.
And I think that's good.
Yeah. So I think it's just more of a catching feelings for someone. Doesn't matter what he does or whatever. Doesn't matter. Catching feelings for that person, and then you see that he's moving a bit like he's not really serious or like he's not really ready to commit. But I'm pretty sure he can change. Like the toxic trait in our head is like, I'm gonna make him change.
And I think that's the fallacy. It's not that men can't change.
Yeah.
But as a woman, you can't make him change. He will only change when he, A, is ready to, and B, when he wants to. Now, it could be that he was doing something and he was like, you've, as a woman, have brought so much value to his life, especially if he's kind of serious in that mindset of I'm looking for something long term, that you've brought so much value to his life that he goes, oh yeah, maybe I was messing around, but actually this one's a real keeper and I actually want to see how this goes. That can happen, but that is still him deciding to change for what he wants, because he wants something long term and he's like, I think I have that with you. But if he's not looking for anything long term, right? As a woman, you can't change his mind.
Yeah, it's true.
And the thing is, and this is what I say, like, when a woman starts dating a guy and he openly expressed, he's very honest and transparent. He's like, hey, I'm not really looking for anything serious, but I'd like to spend time with you and connect with you. And you think, okay, you say that now, but I'm going to change his mind. Yes. That's a woman not taking no for an answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is exactly the same when a guy approaches you in a bar or club because he thinks you're attractive and everything. You look at him, he's not really your vibe and stuff. And you say, thanks for coming up, but I'm just not interested. And he goes, nah, I can change her mind. That's a guy not taking no for an answer.
He becomes annoying.
Exactly, right? Not only is that borderline harassment because he's not taking no for an answer, but he also becomes unattractive to you.
Yeah.
Even more so.
Yeah.
And so when a girl stays in a situation with a guy that she's sleeping with, thinking she's going to change his mind, that just makes her a more unattractive prospect long term, because it means she can't even hold the standards for herself to walk away from it.
Yeah.
So a guy's never going to be like, so even when a guy is ready, right?
He's not going to be ready with you, maybe.
He won't, no, but even when he's ready to choose someone long term, he won't choose her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he'll be like, well, she's been messing with me for a few years and she was saying that she wants a relationship, but I'm not giving it to her. And she's still here.
Yeah.
And he's like, the woman that I want to invest in is the kind of woman that would be like, if I'm not reciprocating the same standard she is, she will walk away. Mm-hmm. Because that's a woman that men find valuable. It's like, because she has enough value for herself that even though she might be emotionally attached, right, she can be her own parent and decide to do what she needs, not what she desires.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us are operating from what we desire, not from what we need. But we have to be our own parents.
That's why they come back after you move on.
Have you had the guy do that with you?
Oh,
really?
All of them.
Really? Did they come back because they saw you moved on, or what was it?
I don't know. I don't know what is in their mind, but I really realized that after you move on and I say, okay, that's enough, bye-bye. You know, it can take them 1 month, 2 months to be like, oh, she's actually serious. Like, oh my God, I'm losing her, you know?
Hope you really enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode where that clip is from, then I want you to click right here where you can watch the full episode. And if you're ready to claim your man today, enroll in my program below, and I'll see you there. Wishing you an amazing day.